following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Ready, Mick?
Are you ready, Mick? Are you ready, Mick?
That was funny today.
You might need to
explain.
Explain, yeah.
Explain. Was that you they would have to?
So I got to the press conference room way ahead of time. Well, not way, but at least 2 or 3 minutes. And I said, oh, I forgot my mask. So I was going to run back to my desk, and I figured I would run into McCarthy coming, right? So I would know how much time I had.
Yes.
Well, as soon as I got past Rich Dalrymple's office, they were coming out, and he said hi, and I said hi and delay. I got to get my mask. And so by the time I ran and got it and got back, he was on the podium
Waiting on you.
And he waited on me.
Couldn't wait to call you out.
And when I came through the door, he says, "You ready, Mick?" And I said, "Yeah, go ahead."
You better be glad Tom Landry wasn't there. You would have gotten fined big time.
No,
$200.
if it was Tom, I would have stopped and forgot the mask.
Yeah.
I just said, "Screw the mask," right?
I mean, they would count it to the second. If the second hand hit 12. And if your back foot was still over the boundary, your back
you weren't
foot,
all the way in.
You weren't all the way in.
So, but if you showed up without your mask on, then you would have had a problem.
Still would have been.
Yeah.
Right.
So he
either way, either you're going to be late.
That's
or
the way
without
Tom
your
I'll tell
mask.
you what, when I came by and I went around the back door to get in, right, the glass door, and when I went past the regular door to get in, I heard it close. So he was only up there for like 5 seconds before I got there.
You weren't that special.
No.
Lucky Clarence was late yesterday.
Yeah.
He got onto him for that.
He got on to Clarence,
So they were talking
yeah.
about Clarence was on time.
And that was like, well, that's no different, right? That's nothing different. Yeah, he's been pretty good about guys walking in late.
Huh. How much do you think the media can afford as far as fines go?
Well, you have to go on salary, right?
It's whatever the percentage is.
So $5,
So Mick's
I don't
late
know.
for press conferences, and during interviews, he lets his phone ring with Coach McCarthy, huh? So he's
That's right.
adding up
So
That's right. I almost
That's
can't
right.
find
Court's
then.
getting added up right now.
That's right.
Good thing he likes me.
You know, we've been pretty dependable around here, haven't we?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's been like
We haven't
late
started the
unless
show
you had
late,
something
right?
to do or, previous engagement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
We've
we've
been
all
very punctual.
Yeah, we have been. I think I was later when I was doing Zoom from home.
Yes, you were.
I'm up here all of a sudden. I'm on time all the time.
We-
Oh, wow. It's 1:30. I better go set up.
Yeah, put my
we would
pants
see
on. Better
we
put
would
my
see
pants
this
on.
perplexed face on the Zoom and no volume. Looking like I don't know what I got to do next.
Those were the days.
So would you say we're off to a 2-1 start this season?
I think
or
we're
a
off to
3-0 start?
2-1 season for the Cowboys.
Well, no, for us.
Oh, for us.
for us?
Oh,
No, we're 3-0.
No, the Cowboys
No,
are
we're
2-1.
3-0.
Okay.
No,
All
we're
right.
3-0.
All right.
No doubt.
So we are like the Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
Coming in
But
here
better.
at 3-0.
But better.
Yeah. Our competition has been stiffer
very
than what
good.
the Carolina
Yes,
Panthers
especially
have
you
faced.
guys drive and try to get here by 1:30.
That's exactly right. All right, so Mickey, give us an update on what you know coming out of that Mike McCarthy press conference. And there's nobody on the practice field today.
No, today's the regeneration day or whatever he calls it, mock day. So, yeah, he, remember, switched the schedule. Instead of Friday being the last practice and Saturday the walkthrough, today's the walkthrough, and they actually practice on Saturday to try to keep the team's attention and get in a groove of getting ready to play instead of having, gosh, you would have 24 about 36 hours away.
Which
right?
is the way NFL teams have done it for
Yeah.
forever.
Except he quit doing it.
Right.
I think he said 2015 or
And there's
so
been some other teams
in
that
Green
have
Bay. Yeah.
taken that approach as well. And
Everybody copies off of each other.
Right.
Well, whoever wins the Super Bowl, that's what you do.
Well, that's when Green Bay back in the day winning Super Bowls, NFL championships anyway. And so Lombardi was the one that started the whole training camp thing, if I'm not mistaken. And that's something that has continued because he was winning championships. So if they're going to do it, then everybody else is going to do it. So that's the history of the torture of training camp.
And I'm sure in the 70s, when the Cowboys were going to Super Bowls, they probably looked at everything Tom did.
Well, Tom got it from Vince.
From Vince,
yeah,
right?
Tom
When the Cowboys started using computers.
That's right.
And then
everybody else did.
Everybody is.
It took them a while, though, to get up to date with the computers, though.
And then the internet was born because of the Cowboys.
That's right.
using
Yeah, you go from
computers.
carrying around the thick computerized playbook.
And with
on
the
computer paper, now it's just an iPad.
and with the internet, you could Google Everson Walls.
That's right.
And I don't really want to Google or check Twitter to see what happened at Mike McCarthy's press conference
So
because
you
I
want
have
me
you here
to?
today, and also to get me up to speed on the injury report and the fact that now you alluded to the fact yesterday that Randy Gregory was
saw something.
not on the practice field, and then an injury report came out, and all of a sudden
Right after our show.
you had indicated it was like a Veterans Day for Randy.
And it
then-
was.
And then on the injury report, there's Randy Gregory's name. It says knee by it.
And then today it said fully expected to go.
Okay.
Good. There you
All
go.
right. So I gave you information ahead of what you got from the head coach.
They had to explain why he wasn't at practice, though.
Well, everybody
On the
knew
injury report.
Yeah, they had to say
Veterans Day.
they had to
Or rest
show
day or-
that he was gone, right? And so yeah,
But
neat.
that's what he told him, Veterans Day.
That's what I called it.
Yeah, you call
Yeah.
it Veterans
Yeah,
Day.
and I think I was pretty right the way he walked off laughing, right? It wasn't like he was limping or had a brace on or he was fine. They
And he
just
did
wanted-
play his full allotment of snaps on Monday night,
That's
38
right.
or so.
Right. So he's good to go. As Mike said, we're just being smart, which means trying to get the guy to the game, not waste the game on a Thursday practice. So, and then nothing else has changed. Everybody else that missed, and nobody got any better, and nobody got any better or worse on COVID-19. So I'd imagine those two guys, and I and Neil, are going to miss again.
How long's it been for Neil now?
Well, it was last week, right?
Okay. So
Early
his
last
10
week.
days is
So his-
not up yet.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
I think it was Wednesday, maybe, something like that.
Okay.
And
So,
Anai was Friday, I think,
Right.
of last week.
okay. And that's kind of been the standard 10 days.
Yep.
So, all right. So, as we dive into this matchup.
Pollard was back from his
Right.
personal
Okay.
reasons.
Okay. As we dive into the Carolina Panthers
I gotta
today
be
in this
nosy.
matchup.
What's going on? Is it okay?
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He was back. Good to go.
Okay. He's being the intrepid reporter over here.
Yeah, I'm being
Everson.
nosy, man. Come on.
I told you my Parcells story, right?
What's that?
His first year with the Cowboys, and the training camp was in San Antonio, and he would only speak to the media between practices, after the morning practice. After the afternoon practices, he would just walk off, and no one challenged him on it, right? Well, one day I was walking to the practice. I was a little bit late getting there.
Again?
And Larry Allen was writing.
Stirring some stuff up.
No, I had stuff to do, let me tell you.
Okay.
And Larry Allen was in the locker room when I went by, and they were already on the field. And I was like, "Oh, something's up." And so he didn't practice. And so when Bill was walking off, I kind of sided up over there, and I was the only one. And I said, "Bill, Larry didn't practice. Anything going on there?" And he just kept walking with his head down, like I didn't exist.
And he doesn't really walk. You know, he just
he
kind of
stomps.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so I said, were you bothered that Larry wasn't practicing? And he looked at me and he said, "You're not supposed to effing be talking to me after this practice." And he stormed off, right? And I said, "Well, I guess I got my answer." He was bothered about Larry not practicing, right? So the next day, he's coming into the interview room. And where I would sit, it was against the wall, and he had to walk past me. The aisle goes right past me, right? And he comes back comes by and he kind of sneers and looks at me and he goes, "Oh, there's the nose." And I said, "What are you talking about, the nose?" I thought he was getting personal, you know?
Right? No.
And he goes, "Yeah, you're always nosing in everybody else's business." And I said, "Bill, that's what they pay me to do." Okay.
Oh, man.
And after that, we never had a crossword again.
Dude, you got to have thick skin around Parcells.
You got to stand up to him,
Yeah, you
right?
got to have thick skin.
So nosing.
He loves it. He loves it too.
Yeah, a lot of times he wasn't serious. He's
just checking you.
That's
He's
right.
just checking
exactly.
you. See what you're made of. That's all. I
Like
love
that
it.
time he walked up to the guy that had the rib injury, and the guy said, "Yeah, coach, I'm good." And then at lunch, just before the guy went into the line, Bill comes from behind and slaps him in the ribs. And the guy's like that. He goes, "Yeah, you're all right, huh?" He said, just checking.
That's a good one.
Did you like playing for him?
I loved it. It was the best time I had, besides the winning. And I didn't get too much of it. You can tell some of the guys that were already there, they got too much of it. I was just there enough for that pretty much magical moment where everything kind of came into play. So, yeah, it was easy to like that.
Hey, those were great 4 years covering him.
I loved it.
I mean, as entertaining, almost as well, maybe even more than Jimmy, because Jimmy was he was serious, but Bill had a way of deflecting the news by telling stories, right? And everybody would listen to the story, and it's like, "Oh man, isn't he great?" I said, "Yeah, but he didn't give us anything what we needed."
That's right.
Okay, so how would you rank? And we're getting to the Carolina Panthers here.
Eventually.
Entertainment value. The head coaches you have covered. Okay, how would you rank them 1 through 4?
I think Bill told better stories than anybody else.
Okay.
I think.
So is he number 1?
Yeah, I would think so from a storytelling standpoint. Number 2 would have been Jimmy, and he was entertaining just because he was Jimmy, right? And he wasn't trying to be entertaining; he was just being Jimmy.
It was helped along that his teams were successful too.
He wasn't much fun. He wasn't much fun in '89.
And coming from coming and being 1-15, and then
I'm waiting to hear a certain coach. Go ahead.
Now, number 3. Who's number 3?
So 3.
I know who I've got.
And
I got an NFC East coach. I have an NFC East coach.
And this one would have been totally by happenstance. Would have been Switzer. Because you never knew what was going to
come out of that mouth next,
or if he was going to walk through the gate at the airport.
Well, and here's
a gun.
And that's the whole question.
Exactly.
It's from an entertainment value. Right. How would you rank them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buddy Ryan.
Well, I was just talking Cowboy coaches, but yeah. Yeah, but Buddy Ryan.
But he helped the Cowboys be entertaining.
That's right. And he helped Jimmy.
I don't think he ever got under Tom's skin, did he?
No, Tom ignored him. I mean, he's just a DC.
Even
with Tom.
I think the only time Tom got upset was that '87 season when Randall Cunningham went to kneel and then threw a touchdown pass after he knelt once, and he was rubbing it in his face because they ran the end around in the strike game. So he was going to get back at him. I think Tom might have been a little perturbed.
But I think as far as Cowboys coaches, in whatever order you want to put them in, Parcells, Jimmy, and Switzer were the most entertaining.
And then to me, because we used to get walk-offs with Jason Garrett, the times where the cameras weren't rolling, it was really good stuff. And I always wished people could see that part of him. Yeah. They only saw
or maybe he would
camera.
Or maybe he would bring some of that stuff to his press conference.
Well, he purposely did not.
Right, I know. And
no Tom Landry.
But there would have been a different perception.
You know what? We didn't get around Tom that much. We got the press conference.
That was on purpose.
I know. We got the press conference on Tuesday, right? There was no after practice every day. And then Friday, when he walked off from practice, we got to walk with him.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then if you needed something, you had to call Barbara Anderson, and she would get Tom on the phone, and you would get your one question, you'd ask it, and then he'd end the conversation. No, he would end the conversation by going, "Okay, And I was going to say, no, Coach, I got more, right?
No, you don't.
I don't.
No, you don't
I'm
have
done.
more. You
Okay.
thought you had more.
Appreciate it very much.
More. That's right.
And so myself as a Cub reporter in Lubbock, Texas, going to training camp and covering the Cowboys. I mean, you can imagine what it was like, fresh out of college and you're interviewing Tom Landry.
No,
and he would do, and for any TV station at Thousand Oaks, you come up to him after practice, after his weightlifting session, whatever, you could get a one-on-one with him,
Well, back in the day, guys used to all sign the same footballs. Mm-hmm. We all signed the same footballs. Yeah. Everyone. Quarterback didn't matter.
Yeah.
And in training camp with
Tom, Tony Romo's got to have his own special package. No. Danny White, even Troy Aikman, those guys, they all signed the same football.
And in training camp with Tom, remember the cafeteria, and we got to sit kind of in the back behind where the coaches were on one long table. And if you were brave, you could go up there and, okay, and they would answer something. But other than that, you would walk off practice field talking to Tom. There was no sit down whatsoever.
And he was always very accommodating.
And then Jimmy started the same thing. Walking in 89, walking, and we would interview him walking. And I'll never forget the time when they in the supplemental draft they got Steve Walsh.
Yes.
And Steve Walsh wore number 4. Well, Mike Saxon had number 4.
That's right.
And somebody asked Saxon about, would you give the new quarterback number 4? And he goes, yeah, for a price. And so somebody asked Jimmy about that. I'll clean it up. He said, yeah, well, he better worry about his own job making the team, not his number. So now,
obviously, Jimmy had something against kickers and special teams.
And this was after the second practice. So now it's like 5, so it's 7 or 8 o'clock back home. We're on deadline, and it's like, I guess I got to go back and write a new story that Mike Saxon's in trouble.
Oh, Lord.
I'm trying to remember. So with Saxon, how long did he stick around?
He kicked in the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember.
Because remember the block punt.
Okay. All right.
To start off the Super Bowl 27.
One thing on coaches, and we go to break, and then I want to come back with this Cowboys defense and pressuring the quarterback.
Okay.
Because your mention of Randall Cunningham brought back a flashback to me, and I'll get to that in a second. But one other thing on coaches, when I was in college, we talk about a legend like Tom Landry, okay, and me being nervous interviewing him first time, whatever. When I was in college, I worked for the campus radio station, did play-by-play of OU football. OU played at Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri. I remembered this because he's got his Mizzou shirt on. And in the press box was Bud Wilkinson.
Oh, wow.
And I summoned up the courage to go interview, had my little tape recorder, and interviewed Bud Wilkinson.
But he was always known to be nice. Just
nice as can be.
Super nice.
But he was Bud Wilkinson. And
he was the reason I was an OU fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous. I still have a copy of that cassette tape, and it pains me to listen to that because my voice is cracking.
Oh, my God.
It's so bad.
He had white hair then, right?
Oh, yeah. It was so bad. Yeah. Anyway, so I just had a flashback to that. But we flash back to Cowboys, Eagles, Randall Cunningham, and how Monday night reminded me of that when we come back on Mix Shots.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
Head to AT&T Stadium tomorrow, October 2nd, to experience Rally Day presented by SeatGeek. Take a tour of the stadium, play games, get autographs from the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, and more. Visit attstadium.com/rallydays for tickets and more information.
All right.
Hold on. Spag's been taking classes. Taking night classes.
I go home before I go to bed and read out loud.
That's why he's got that Mizzou shirt on. He's
right.
taking online reading
Right.
courses. Yeah, at Mizzou. Get a postgraduate degree. You have a postgraduate degree?
I do not.
Okay,
I didn't think
you need to work on that.
I didn't think a master's degree in writing journalism.
My daughter
was
is an Oklahoma Sooner going for her master's.
Really?
Online.
I didn't realize she was that smart. To
make sure that I'll tell her you said that. She'll be like, oh.
She took after her mother.
That's right. All right, and I'm saying that because of the OU part of that.
Of course. Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill, for clarifying that. I'm
right.
smart, too, a little bit.
All right. Switzer wasn't smart enough to recruit you, though.
No. Nobody saw me. That's not Switzer's fault.
Yeah.
I just had 1 year of high school football. Nobody's going to sign a guy.
All
like
right.
that.
Seems like Texas would. They got Herky.
Oh, I certainly wanted to. You look at Herky's high school career, look at mine. Give me a break. That's like, come on. It's like Obama.
Herky?
That's like Obama versus Larry Elder or something.
How about Herky's 40 time compared to yours?
I think I was 0.4 of a second behind. He could probably run a 4.2. I run a 4.7. That's crazy, huh?
How does that happen?
That's crazy, dude.
All right, so I got one for him because the guys asked me this morning to compare Everson Walls to Trayvon Diggs. And my answer was I think Trayvon might be a little faster. Maybe Walls was, but they caught the ball about the same and had some great anticipation.
He's got great anticipation.
And one of the things that Trayvon said is, and you said it, he said, and I got good guys around me. And I mentioned that 6'11", too tall Jones was standing in front of him all the time.
Harvey Martin coming around there like a choo-choo train. That was good stuff, man.
All right, so you set me up well then.
Okay.
And I guess it was because Jimmy Johnson was in the house the other day. And then Cowboys playing the Eagles. It reminded me one of the best Cowboys games, and we talked about a little bit the other day, the 92 season when they lost to the Eagles in a Monday night game 31-7 earlier in the season. A month later, came back to Texas Stadium. Cowboys won handily. And then in the divisional playoff round of the playoffs, the Cowboys played the Eagles again.
Slaughtered them.
And it was this set the tone for that Super Bowl run. And it was the way the defense played on that day with Randall Cunningham at quarterback for the Eagles. And there was just something about Monday night and Jimmy being in the house and Jalen Hurts on the other side and the way this defense was playing, I had a flashback to that game.
Well, if you recall, when Randall was coming off the field in that game, he had the same look that Jalen had.
Exactly.
It was just hopelessness, And I was like, man, I remember thinking about Randall. That's the worst body language I've ever seen Randall Cunningham display.
Now the difference was Randall was a veteran quarterback in the league, and the difference also was that was the number 1 ranked defense in the league the Cowboys had in '92, and so this is not to compare where this defense is right now with the '92 defense at that point. But here was a young quarterback,
set.
and exactly.
It's a tone being set. That's what I like about it.
Probably have the same amount of Pro Bowlers as they'd had in '92.
That's right. We talked about that the other day.
Zero.
Yeah.
That's right.
Unless Diggs continues this interception.
And like I said the other day, Diggs just made the Pro Bowl with that 60-yard pick six.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Jimmy was known in his background. He was defensive line coach and an aggressive front on defense, and so he had to be watching that and going, wow, that's the kind of defense that you want to play.
And I think that game and then gave them the impetus to go into San Francisco with a little bit of confidence, a little bit more than the rest of the country was giving them because, well, they're too young. They're a year early. And I was going, no, they're not. This is going to happen.
That was the next week, NFC Championship game against San Francisco, and which I think still, even though they won 3 Super Bowls in a 4-year period, that was the most significant win of that stretch.
Yeah.
I say that game was the beginning of the end for Randall Cunningham in Philadelphia because I think he ended up going to Baltimore.
Wound up here.
Oh, yeah. Came here and did pretty doggone well. If I do say so. I think he did. Oh, what's back?
Mickey just rolled his eyes.
Okay. We got a rant coming. Is there a rant coming?
He had to play one game, and it was the final game of the 2020 season. And he was Troy's
2000.
I'm sorry, 2000.
Yeah.
And
he would not do well one game of the 2020 season.
And they were going to Tennessee for the final game.
Oh yeah.
And Troy was hurt. And he claimed he had a pulled hamstring and couldn't play. So, Wright. What was the other quarterback?
Anthony Wright.
Was it Anthony Wright? Yeah. He had to. They sacrificed him in that game because nobody wanted to play. It was like 20 degrees outside.
Was it a meaningless game?
Oh yeah, they were.
I remember.
They were 5 and 10 at that point, and Randall didn't want to play in that game. So it was like, I got this, and I said, okay, you phony.
And even that defense, as good as it was, every once in a while they would give up some unusual, uncharacteristic plays and points.
In 92?
Yeah. But they were still a good defense. And it kind of reminds me of this one. They're not giving up as many yards as we were back in 81, and they're still making the plays. To me, they remind me more of that the Super Bowl defenses of the 90s that the Cowboys had. Great players, but as much as they weren't as consistent and dominating, they were still good at making plays and ending drives. That's what I like about that
but not
team.
break.
That's right. That's right.
They only had a couple bad games that year. They gave up 28 to the Giants in game 2, but won. And then they gave up 27 to the Rams, got beat. 27 to Denver, won. And everybody else was about in the teens.
What year are you talking about?
92.
92.
Well, then 31 to Philadelphia, that Monday night game.
Oh. No, that was 91.
Was it 91? Wow.
But they didn't go to the Super Bowl. It was a deep run though.
All right.
No, they didn't.
Let's double check here.
What year are you on?
Yeah, just look.
92.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
I know what
God.
happened. It skipped over the bye. I just went down
Don't blame
past
the
it.
book. Don't blame the book.
Now,
31-7.
I got an update. Everson just rolled his eyes.
It's the book. Yeah, they didn't. The font was different.
And actually, I intended to spend that segment talking about this current Dallas defense, but Mickey took us on a wild ride back.
Again.
Well, you know what? The one I remembered was when in 91 when they got all excited about their team, and then Philadelphia came in here and beat them 24-0. And I think they set the single-season opponent sack record that day. Aikman just got murdered.
Okay.
So what's your story?
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to get straight to the point. I love Osa Odighizuwa.
Mm-hmm.
Does he remind you of somebody?
I mean, he just played so well on Monday night. We're talking about, I was trying to get to us talking about the Cowboys on Monday night and how they played defense, and I thought that front four, Osa, played so well, and
I thought Randy Gregory put down a consistent pressure as well.
Yeah.
Especially when they started
He caused
rolling.
a lot of problems.
Especially when they started rolling, when they just really started putting the hammer down and running the stunts. He came inside a few times.
I mean, he doesn't have the numbers to show, but if you just watch the game, you
created penalties, holding penalties.
Yes, like 3 of them, I think.
It's early yet, but I think Dan Quinn might have his 3 technique in Osa Odighizuwa.
Mm-hmm.
He
was coming too. He was playing.
Neville Gallimore.
Well, I realize Gallimore too.
Neville is not here.
When he gets here.
If Osa can play like he played the other night.
And he wasn't going up against any backups, right?
Well, Philadelphia. Well, they had a second-round pick, Landon Dickerson.
Well, okay,
at right
that's
guard.
when the guard went down. Right.
Say Amalo, or however you say his name, who's a very respected player. He went down with an injury, whatever. But it was just the way he played, not only the run, but getting to the quarterback as well. Had a sack and a half in the game. His get-off. And he's got 30. His arms are beyond 34 inches. He's got an 84-inch wingspan, and he's able to use that. But what I was going to say is Dan Quinn might have found in the 3rd round of this draft his Grady Jarrett that he got in the 5th round in the Atlanta draft in 2015.
Well, I asked the question to someone who should know, and I asked, can both of those guys play at the same time? Gallimore and Odighizuwa, and I think so, because Odighizuwa can play either of the defensive tackle positions, more so than Neville Gallimore.
Okay.
So if you get those two guys out there.
Because Gallimore's, at least their weight at the combine, when they entered the league, he's 20 pounds heavier than. Yes.
It's the low center of gravity.
Odighizuwa is strong. With the long 34-inch long arms, 34-inch arms, and he had 25 bench reps with 34-inch arms, and that low center of gravity. The other thing, as I mentioned, Grady Jarrett is, and you love this in a defensive tackle, is he was a 3-time state champion heavyweight wrestler in high school.
Oh, yes.
And Grady Jarrett was the same thing.
Yes.
So there's
3-time.
3-time
state champion wrestler. All right. So anyway, there's my Osa.
So I'm thinking 2 more games. Gallimore maybe after.
That's what I want to see. I want to see them together.
Maybe after.
Or
the bye.
I mean, even in a rotation.
Yeah. No.
So
well, that's the thing about this team. We get better as the game goes on. Even when we played against the Chargers, giving up about 16 straight completions, you would think that we would just be worn down. But everyone was still within themselves. And I believe that's when Casey came down and made that interception in the end zone. To me, they still never gave up. The pressure was getting closer and closer and making more and more of an impact on that team. We get better. I don't know if it's our youth. I don't know if it's the depth that we have. But when the fourth quarter's here, we're still ready to go.
I think one of the things is they're playing with confidence. They never got to that point last year. And everybody wants to tiptoe around it, right? Well, yeah, we're a little bit more organized. The guys know what they're doing. They're playing faster.
So you said Mike Nolan didn't know what the heck he was doing.
What the hell was going on last year?
Exactly.
And really, the only one that'll kind of come out and say it is DeMarcus Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying we're playing defense the way we're supposed to be playing defense, how we know how to play it. They were catching last year instead of being attacking.
Everything was reaction. And no one was anticipating anything.
And Diggs kind of hinted at it yesterday when he did his interview. He was just saying that he just felt like everybody was playing with more confidence. Now, for him, it's tough as a rookie, right? And you don't see him making some of the same mistakes he was making last year, peeking in at the quarterback and the guys going past him.
And once again, that comes because he feels protected by the pressure that's coming from up front. You just have that feeling. You know that the quarterback's under duress. When you turn around looking for the ball, the clock in your head seems to go off, on time as opposed to being late because you're not reacting. You're the one that's doing the anticipating.
It's my Ike Holt story. When the Cowboys, he was starting at corner, right? And they had no pass rush early, and they would see what Philadelphia was doing, right? So we were talking about their corners, and Ike goes, well, let me show you how the Eagles play cornerback. So he gets down, crouched, and he goes, 1, and he takes 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. I'm good. Like the pressure up front.
Right, it's
plays over. Right?
Right?
That's all I got to do. And it was the most hilarious thing ever.
It makes such a difference to your psyche.
Yeah.
I mean, not just physically, but up here, you kind of feel it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm good.
The comfort zone is just amazing.
It's like Lawrence Welk did.
Yes, a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
1 and a 2. Man.
Oh, boy, we just went by a lot of people's heads.
And back with more Mick Shots, our picks of the week when we come back.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to Mick Shots.
Ready, Mick?
Check out the new Miller Lighthouse located outside of AT&T Stadium, where Dallas Cowboys game day traditions are born. Enjoy yard games, Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders performances, beer gardens, and more. For more information, visit attstadium.com/Miller Lighthouse. Miller Lighthouse, your tailgate just got jealous.
Man, it's just boring now. You were just too good, bro.
All right.
All right.
We got 6 minutes left here.
Let me do this.
Okay.
The Carolina defense.
Well, that's where I was going.
Okay. Well, good. We're on the same path.
You want me to ask my questions
Go
first?
ahead.
What team has the number 1 defense
Carolina.
in the league? What team has the number
Carolina.
1 run defense in the league?
Carolina.
What team has the number 1 pass defense in the league?
You want me to go on further?
Go for it.
Who's leading the league in sacks? Carolina with 14. Who's leading the league in hits on quarterbacks? Carolina with 27. Who's leading the league on third down conversion percentage against?
Carolina Panthers.
21.2%. Who's leading the league on average first downs per game? Now this one is key. 12. In the last 2 games the Cowboys have had, or 2 of the 3 games the Cowboys have had 13 in the first quarter.
That's right.
Now, who's leading the league in first downs on offense?
Cowboys.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And yards allowed per play. Carolina, 3.77. 3.77. They've got 2 guys with 7.5 sacks. Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns.
What?
They combined for 7.5 sacks.
Oh, combined. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What?
Also,
I woke up.
No individual, and they've only given up 1 rushing touchdown, and that was Jameis Winston. So no running back has run in on them. And no individual player has rushed for more than 25 yards in a game against Carolina.
That is all going to change.
And who's leading the league in worst schedule so far? Strength of schedule.
Yeah, that would be them.
Carolina.
No, the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
For real?
Denver's got. They've played like the Jets, Jacksonville, and Giants is who Denver's played. That's why they're 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina's 3-0. They've played against
the 0-3 Jets.
Yep.
The Saints.
2-1 Saints.
6 or 7.
And is it the 1-2?
6 or 7 coaches missing
Texans.
that game.
Yes.
1-2 Texans. And in 2 of the 3 games, they played against a rookie making his first NFL start.
And by the way, I realize the Saints beat the Packers 38-3 in the first game, and Mickey has chronicled all the COVID casualties the following week when they didn't have
coaches,
them.
7 coaches with them.
And offensive coaches.
Yeah.
But have you seen Jameis Winston's stats for the first 3 games? How many yards he's passed for? I don't have it in front of me, but he has not reached the 200-yard plateau in a game yet.
In a game.
No. Mm-hmm. So even if they had their coaches, I mean, I don't know how Sean Payton's doing it there with New Orleans.
Well, you can see that he's changed their MO from that precision passing to a heavy running game.
So credit Sean Payton for what they're doing in New Orleans.
Stay within yourself.
Yeah, and they're about to go to 3-1.
387
total.
I thought
for Winston?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right?
Yes.
I thought I was misreading the line here.
So we look and say, okay, Carolina beat New Orleans. Well, that's a good win. Well,
he didn't have 150 yards passing.
No.
Just 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Cowboys with one of the top offenses in the league against the number 1 rated defense. But is that really the number 1 rated defense?
No. So you're gonna say number 1 overrated defense? Now, come on. I mean, I was expecting that to come from you. Come on, man.
Well, this is what I'm writing about today for tonight on DallasCowboys.com. It's what's the saying? The irresistible force and the unmovable.
Yeah. It's 50 years ago. The Sports Illustrated cover had the irresistible force versus the immovable object. It was the game of the century, Oklahoma versus Nebraska.
It was that game.
It was that game. Yes. So there you go.
Irresistible force.
So that's what we have here.
Is that what we have here?
And by the way, Carolina also lost its first-round draft pick cornerback, J.C. Horn, last week, and don't have their running back, obviously, in McCaffrey. So make your picks.
Somebody got on to me on Twitter. I was saying, well, here's the good news. And I said the Cowboys didn't have anybody else going on the injury list, and they don't have to face Christian McCaffrey. Mm-hmm. And somebody tweeted back at me, goes, that's pretty rude to hope somebody gets hurt, that's good news. And I was like, okay.
Calm down. Everybody just calm down. Hey, I'm the pick-to-click guy first.
Okay.
Don't take my guy.
What is it, score first or player first?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, player first. I was going to pick CeeDee Lamb.
That's who I'm picking.
Well, I said I was gonna.
Okay.
I saw him last week. He's begging for the ball last week. He was open all the time. I'm pretty sure he's been in Dak's ear. So he's going to have a good game. But my dude is J-Ron Curse. I love that name, J-Ron.
He's about to pick the click for 3 games in a row.
I'm finally getting it. Right?
Oh, you're going to go
finally
with
a believer, yeah. But I'm going to be even more specific. I think he's going to have 1 forced fumble, maybe a tip pass on interception.
Okay.
Because he's all over the field. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to have more than
he's going to get one that counts this week.
He's going to cause a turnover in one way or another, along with at least 8 tackles.
So here's your guy. He's second on the team with 20 tackles. He's got 2 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 quarterback pressures, and 2 passes defensed.
I'm waiting on the 4th
and
fumble.
should have had an interception.
Oh yeah,
if
that
they
was
didn't make
that
a
was such
BS
crap.
call on
that was such crap. I don't even.
All right,
understand.
so who?
So J-Ron Curse for me.
Okay, that's your
Write
pick
it
to
down.
click.
That's my pick to
All
click.
right.
I got it. Score 28-24 Cowboys.
Okay.
Close game.
It's going to be a close game.
I'm going to go 24-20 Cowboys, and my pick to click is going to be one Randy Gregory, because they are going to line him up wherever Cam Irving is playing.
Oh, Cam Irving's going to have a
his
big
left tackle.
target on his
And
left
I think
tackle.
Cam's the left tackle.
He's the left tackle. So that's
Randy
Gregory's normal
on the
side.
right side. Randy Gregory. And he can do it on one knee, okay?
That's good. That's a good pick.
Good.
Okay.
What you got?
CD Lamb. That's what I was telling. Don't be
CD was
so
my
predictable.
guy. CD was my guy because the way the Panthers and in fact Isaiah Stanback, it was his film room telestrator that's going to be on the Mike McCarthy show. He shows how Phil Snow, their defensive coordinator, very aggressive coach. I mean, they blitz. They bring Shaq Thompson, linebacker on the blitz, and they got those edge rushers as well. But their corners, they also play man. And he was illustrating how they are committed to covering whoever it is. Rather than like if you stack 2 receivers on one side, and one guy's going to he's taking that guy. They're not switching off.
Right.
Okay. And he showed how you can run a and
The rub routes.
Yeah, but it was someone went underneath on a crossing route, and whoever had him, because whoever the corner was on that side, may have been Dante Johnson, he was so committed to staying with his guy that it was a rub route, basically. And I said, well, I can just see CD Lamb. You take him on that crossing route. And so that's why I'm going with CD Lamb. It was because of what Isaiah said.
Insider trading.
Yeah, you see that,
right.
man?
That's right. But
Is that illegal?
I want to say the Cowboys are going to win big.
Okay.
But they won big last week, and you don't win big a lot in this league. And so I'm going to go 23-16 Cowboys.
And the only reason I differ with you on that, because I'm optimistic that this team is extremely special.
Yeah,
and that they will score points no matter who they're playing.
Could score points.
And I'm kind of with you on
All right,
that.
you've convinced me. Then I'll go 38-16 Cowboys.
You would have been right on last week.
Can I go 27-26? No, I'm sticking with the
one thing we haven't talked about all week, I know we're out of time, is what Joe Brady has done with Sam Darnold.
Yes.
And it's been very impressive. And that there's a reason that Sam Darnold has found his new scenery to his liking, and it has a lot to do with that offensive coordinator. They spread the field, and there are so many options for him. Yeah.
So I'm going to say the last word here, 2 words. Don't relax. Just because McCaffrey's not there, Hubbard can hurt you. Don't relax, and don't judge Sam Darnold that he had been playing with the Jets.
What's his record against the Cowboys, Sam Darnold?
He's 1-0. That's right. And he threw a 92-yard touchdown pass to Robbie Anderson, who I just found out
who was there as well.
only has 5 catches so far.
Yep.
So beware. Don't relax.
So you changing your pick?
Nope.
Okay.
But don't think this is like a cakewalk, because it's in between Eagles, Giants. Oh, it's Carolina, right? Oh, we won 2 straight.
It's not the game you circled on the calendar.
I'm wondering if they can handle success.
And it's a noon start. Start.
All of that, to me, if this team is as good as we think it is,
then it should be able
they're going to just – doesn't matter. They're too naive to know how tough that is.
You know
too
what?
naive to know that variable means something to them.
So now I can't decide whether the Cowboys win or the Panthers win.
When I was a rookie, that's how I felt.
And Carolina, we know how hard it is.
I didn't care about road games, Monday night. Didn't care about any of that crap.
We know how hard it is to win 4 straight in this league. They've won 3 straight. About time for a loss.
Yeah. I'd say that too.
And then I'd be worried next week because if the Cowboys win, they got to play the Giants on a 3-game winning streak.
So that's trap game.
Yeah, that's the trap game.
Yeah.
Because New England's next, right?
Uh-huh. But if you can win this one, and then you get the Giants, and then you get a rookie quarterback.
If you could just take one freaking game at a time.
5-1.
Yeah, right. Let's just do that, man.
Okay,
like,
Tom.
Who's next?
Okay, Tom. One game at a time.
Okay, one other prediction. Brady versus Belichick, Sunday night.
Oh. Well, I think Brady's got a better team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn my
You're gonna go
volume
for your
down.
own?
I'm turning the volume down because they're going to be talking about this crap all day Sunday.
And it's more than just the quarterbacks.
The handshake. What's going to help the handshake? Like, they're about to stab each other or something. Give me a break, man. God, it's just a game. Jeez.
All right. That does it for Mick Shots for another week. And go Mizzou against those Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah.
Go
Is that game
Cowboys.
televised?
I believe it is.
Somewhere.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.